Hey everybody, how we all doing? So I'm running a little bit late here, but it's kind of what I do. Raven will not be joining us for a few more minutes still. Running a little bit late herself, but hey, that's life. We gotta deal with it, right? Let's see who we've got in channel here. He said while looking into his phone. Make sure everything's nice and quiet so we're not reverberating ourselves. Who we got? We've already got a a suggestion for doing Wallace Shawn from Home Cruise. Hello, Home. Tiger says, yo. Gracia Double O, hello. Fantamoon, hello. Oh my god, get Raven to use the Cobra Godfrey voice? No. I'm walking on thin ice every time I use that voice myself. Her using that, she is going to kill herself. Hello, Crimson Tats. Nice to see you. Oh, you're recovering from eye surgery. I'm sorry. Yes, if you need to not stay long, then it was fun having you for at least a little while. Get well soon, buddy. Hello, Jamie Stanfleet. I can't say names. I'm sorry. Get Raven to sing with me? Maybe. I don't know. And get that troll suit on. Oh, Lord. I can't imagine when I'm ever going to use that suit again, but as soon as I do, that's the second I get rid of it. It's like, strike that. Reverse it. As soon as I get rid of it, that's when I'm going to need it. Please tell me we'll see Wolfabob in this. I don't know, but it might be a good idea. And hello, Matt. Nice to see you again. I'm doing well. Casanoda? How do you say that? Sorry. Hello, Chris Prime 1 Bot. Still trying to draw something? Oh, why sad face? Is drawing not fun? And we do say Casanova. Yes, I got it right. Woo! Thank you, the Marvel Fan Avengers Assemble. I should know that we're making vids out there that are lovable. Ritsu Casanova. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, pardon these first few minutes while I sound kind of awkward as we're just kind of killing time until Raven shows up. I can't do this without you, baby. Phantom Moon says I should do more Good Times reviews. They make absolutely no sense. It's laughable. They're bad, certainly. But to say they make absolutely no sense, I don't know. I've seen Tentacolino and Where the Dead Go to Die. You want to talk about not making sense? There you go. Is that a mini Wolfabob behind me? Why, yes it is. I had one of my fans make this cute little Wolfabob. I forget what the process is by which it was made, but it's made by like a needle pointing felt into shape. I have no idea how that works, but crazy, right? It's just adorable. Hello, little Wolfabob. Hello. Oh my god, will you shut up, Brent? Can you review Avengers Endgame? Sure, I can do that. Awesome. There's my review. Okay, moving on. If this vid gets 1,000 likes, I should shave my eyebrows. Maybe if I get 1,000 patrons on Patreon, I don't know. Maybe. No, I'm not shaving my eyebrows. Do I look like Jared Leto to you? No. And yes, that is also a mini Raven behind me. This little raven is made of crochet, and she is just adorable, isn't she? Hello, baby. And before anyone asks, yes, that is also a little mini lily behind me.
Hello, I'm adorable and I like turtles.
No, I'm not going to shave Raven's eyebrows. That's just, no, she going to kill me. Technically, Raven is behind you. Ah, she is? He's not reviewing Endgame. And no Gilbert Gottfried in this one, please. And you have instantly become Raven's best friend, Home Cruise. So since we have one Raven, is there, start it up. Yeah, a nice try, but I need to have the actual Raven to act as my moderator, because I can't be looking at the suggestions here on the chat myself as I'm reading. I gotta have her filter out all the decisions. I should review Golden Films movies like their Hunchback of Notre Dame, where Esmeralda is now Melody and Quasimodo isn't even ugly. What's Quasimodo without the ugly? What is that? I'm not very centered here, am I? At least when I'm looking that way. Just gonna scoot that over a bit. There we go. Better? Yes, there we go. Much better. Okay. So basically in the show we have a wolf, a dog, and a bird. Perhaps. Maybe. And there's also a Bobsheaux. Can't forget him. Did I review the Fantastic Mr. Fox? No, I did not review that, although I need to. Because I got some things to say to you, Fantastic Mr. Fox. What's next? A fish? I don't know. Gotta find a decent fish puppet first. Oh, thank you, Marvel fan Avengers Assemble. I love your channel so much. I swear you made me feel so alive with your reviews. Plus, you're hilarious in them. Just so long as I'm not making videos that are making my viewers feel dead. That's the important thing. Fish Bob. Do some poetry for us? Well, were you here for the last stream? Garcia 00? Then you know that I've got a nice book of poetry right here, just waiting to be tapped into. Let's see. Poetry. Let's see what we got here while we're waiting for Raven to show up. Hi, Tom Allen. How you doing? Would I ever consider reviewing The Scarecrow, another animated movie by Richard Rich? I need to look at that in more detail. I saw it. It was intriguing. I'm thinking, there's a review in here somewhere. Hello, Taylor R. Nice to see you. Let's see. I do not have any Shakespeare on hand, I'm afraid. But I do have a bit of poetry here somewhere. Let's see where to go. Here it is. O freddled grunt bugly, thy micturations are to me as plurdled gabble blodgets on a lurgid bee. Group, I implore thee, my funting turling dromes, and hooptiously drangle me with crinkly bindle wardles, or I will rend thee in the gobblewarts with my blurgle crunch and see if I don't. Who recognizes that poem? Hello, Ian Sweetie. Nice to meet you. Little Love Clam, good to see you in chat. Home Cruise asks, have I seen the Unikitty show on Cartoon Network? Wow, I can't believe they actually made a Unikitty TV show. I have seen it. It is crazy and weird, and I love it. Out of all the movie review channels there are, you're the only one I watch. Oh, thank you, Marvel fan. I feel so special. And hello, Joe Flynn, who says hello to everyone. Everyone, you say hello right back to Joe Flynn. And hello, Darth Madara. And what's next? A Lego Movie TV series? That'd be awesome. Hello, Book for Life. How you doing? Sparky22, Goosebumps. Ian Sweeney's favorite review of mine is The Hero of Color City. Nice. Along with the Scarecrow movie, I should look at Trumpet of the Swan. That's also by Richard Rich. He sure does love him some Swan, don't he? Ooh, maybe I could read the Jabberwocky poem. Perhaps. And the chat just kind of stopped. Oh no, they've left me. Why? Oh, no, just... Spare him from this one princess. It'll never stop. Oh, there's one more I got to review, wasn't there? Hello, Super Disney fan. I am doing well. Your computer monitor is brighter than my future. Oh, Fanta. No. Don't say that. That's just not right. Yeah, Darth Madara, I'm just waiting until you get started on the reading. Yeah, sorry. Still going to be a few minutes. Can't do that until Raven shows up. And running a little bit late, but that's okay because we've all got life to attend to. But she'll be here. Should I drop out of nursing school to become a pro wrestler? Wow, that's a weird career change right there. Either be a nurse or a pro wrestler. I don't know how the flip there gets turned on, but there you go. What are your personal thoughts on the Don Bluth movies Rockadoodle and A Troll in Central Park? Those are review questions I should not be answering here. But Rockadoodle and Troll in Central Park, maybe I should put those on the back burner. Bob, in your Alpha and Omega review of the Wolf games, I noticed something I think you may not have noticed. Oh, what's that? And that's okay, Disney fan. That's all right. In one part, I think Claudette spoke a different language. What part is that? I'm not remembering any different languages being spoken in that movie. With the time? Where's the time? I'm not seeing you put a time anywhere. Hello, Nikki Devani. Good to see you in channel. Dearest Bobsheaux, your review where you felt sad in the movie Real God, I can't remember, was inspiring to you. It inspired me to write this. Oh. Sorry, just a moment. Looking back to look at a comment that might have been blocked. I'm not seeing it. I guess we'll just have to look at that at a later point, I suppose. Yeah. Sorry, Garcia. But it's in the comments section. I will go ahead and take a look at that. Do I have a favorite kind of pizza? I am sorry for being that guy, but I like pepperoni and pineapple. Yes, thank you. Alarm that I set. I know that we're streaming here. Is God a dog in the all dogs go to heaven universe? You don't see humans in heaven. That's a good question. What the hell is Satan, by the way? In that weird freaky dream sequence that... Oh, no, wait, we know the answer to that one because in the second movie, Satan is a cat, of course. I gotta review that one sometime, don't I? Hey, Bob, I have another character name if you buy a cat puppet. Well, I got a cat puppet, actually. Bobcat, no. Okay, then. I think it's Bobsheaux Cat. I don't know. Favorite Disney animated classic? That's an easy one. I gotta go with Pinocchio. Just timeless, really. Did you see the trailer for Pixar's Onward? Yes, I have. And frankly, I think that's what The Good Dinosaur should have been. You have a concept like this ancient, or not ancient, but a medieval fantasy setting, but taking place in the modern world. Okay, there you go. That's something worth exploring. Maybe, I don't know, like what happens if dinosaurs evolved alongside with man? Think that's something worth exploring? Do I remember the dub of Samurai Pizza Cats? I am sorry. All I remember is seeing commercials for that show on TV and thinking, what? Yes, even at that age. Raven Fox is here. Hello, Raven Fox. And yes, the entire chat explodes with hello, Ravens themselves. Good. Greet my lady, damn it. Let's get this pratty started. Say Mada then Ra, and that's how you pronounce the name. Madara? What name is that? I don't know. Oh, here she is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Raven.
I am sorry for being late once again.
It's okay. We all have life to attend to.
I got another phone call from the doctor as soon as I sat down.
Oh, fun. Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I got an appointment tomorrow.
Huzzah.
Go to, spur of the moment.
What time?
3:40.
Okay, good.
So after you've gone to work. I made sure of that.
That kind of into our time then.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. So,
Okay.
so yes, Raven's
Well,
here.
that's what they offered me. I would have had to take it even if it did cut into our time. Luckily, it did not.
But yeah, Raven's here, so the party can finally begin and the awkwardness can stop.
Thank you for asking. My mom is, while back in the hospital, she is actually doing a lot better now.
Wonderful.
She's got a different doctor who is doing better for her and not letting her leave the hospital until she's actually well this time. And she's actually planning to come and visit/live with me here in Oregon.
Really?
With my sister, yes. So plans are being made there.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Good. I'm glad, baby.
But thank you for asking about my mom. I appreciate that. Yeah, she's doing great. I needed to call her today, but I ran out of time. I'll do it after the stream. Okay, guys, throw me some voice. Before you start throwing me suggestions, just reminder of the ground rules. No anime. He doesn't know it. the more modern video games, anything past like Mario and Wario and Luigi and all that, he doesn't know those voices. So
sorry.
Keep it retro. Make your suggestions for your voices, and one time.
Yes, no flooding or spamming.
Yeah, and if you don't hear, keep in mind there's going to be a lot of people making suggestions, and I'm trying to do them kind of in the order that I get them. So if you don't hear your suggestion in like 5 minutes, then please don't make it again. But if you don't hear your suggestion about 15 minutes or so, go ahead and make the suggestion again. We're not doing anybody from Channel Awesome. Channel Not Awesome. He doesn't know how to do PewDiePie.
Let's see, Channel Awesome. That's what, the Nostalgia Critic at this point?
And the Cinema Snob, unfortunately. Because I liked him. Anything? What am I missing? He doesn't do Gordon Ramsay.
I don't do Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, you don't do. You refused to do it before. I have it crossed off on several lists, but it seems like everybody, at least one person, suggested every time. Do you do Gordon Ramsay? Because I'll sure enough get you Gordon Ramsay.
I do Gordon Ramsay to the best of my knowledge.
You've turned it down before.
I'm sorry. I can't imagine why.
You said pass. I don't know why.
Yeah. I've done it before, you donkey.
You have. I don't know why you passed it by the other day.
I don't remember doing that.
Oh, well. Maybe it's just me. I don't think I lost my mind. Maybe I did. Okay.
We're all mad here.
And, don't suggest any voices that could get you banned. That's all I'm saying. I'm not elaborating, and you know those voices. And
suggest those voices.
Let your conscience be your guide. I know you'll do the right thing, guys.
Oh, yes.
That's supposed to work out in my favor, Robert.
Is it?
No. Not if it... That doesn't work out. Okay. Oh, and no SpongeBob.
Yes.
SpongeBob.
No SpongeBob, please. I'm sorry for being the one person in the world who doesn't like SpongeBob, but I am.
You know how many suggestions I'm already seeing for those horrible voices? You got, or actually, no, it's people saying, don't do these voices. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Sure.
I hate you all.
I love you guys. Okay, first, before we begin, we must come to a consensus as to what we are going to read. Because, again, nobody voted on these stories.
What did we do last night?
We did the fourth block of stories, which included Evangeline and the Frog Prince, Friends for Life, Battle in the Batcave, and Robot Boy and Anchor Baby. The stories for the first block of reviews, or block of stories, are Zadi and the 1001 Ideas, Lending a Wing, The Joke's on Who, and Oyster Boy and Junk Girl. The second group of stories are Little Red Riding Hood, Calling All Avengers, Reptile Revenge, and Mummy Boy and Staring Girl. And the third block has The Goose Girl, Robin Hawk, Professor Pig's Circus Crime, and Toxic Boy and Voodoo Girl.
Shall I pick just to save time?
Sure, why not?
Second block.
Second block. All right, so we are beginning with, here we go, Little Red Riding Hood. And because people have been asking for Wolfabob, this sounds like a good spot to have him.
Indeed.
Let's see what we got here. Little Red Riding Hood. What page are you on?
I'm gathering voices. Give me just a moment.
That's page 72. You might as well call this book So Woke It Hurts. Let's see.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
Hello, Nikki. Yes, always good to see you.
I don't know that Nikki. Have you been to any of his live streams before? I can't remember. Anyway, we're sending you big hugs.
Just give him a moment while I get all situated with my co-star here.
You have water?
I have water. Made sure of that before logging on. Okay,
Nostalgia Voice Studios, which Joker were you wanting to hear?
Okay. I'm ready when you are, baby.
Okay, give me just a moment.
And hello.
Dance, Wolfabob, dance.
Dancing's hard. Oh God, no. Sorry, I flipped over to the next page in this book, and who's in this story? Garth and Lily. What are you doing in here?
Oh no! They've left the tall grass.
No.
Bob is not going to shave his eyebrows if he gets to 1,000 pages. Who came up with that?
And I'm not going to shave Raven's eyebrows either.
There'll be no eyebrow shaving.
We're not Jared Leto.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt this movie real bad.
Boy, did he.
Ugh. As if that movie wasn't dead on arrival already.
Had Will Smith in it. In fact, I saw an article that was saying how they don't know how the sequel to Suicide Squad is going to do without him. But he will not be in it.
What?
He left the Men in Black series franchise. It bombed. He left the Independence Day franchise. It bombed. The next movie bombed. He's leaving the Suicide Squad franchise. It's going to bomb worse.
Oh.
He was just about the only good thing in that movie, and
he
screwed up his character anyway.
He and Margot Robbie in booty shorts were the only two reasons to watch that movie. And now both of them are gone.
Margot Robbie's not going to be in it?
No, Margot Robbie's in it too, except they're toning down the skimpiness of her costumes to avoid the male gaze.
They're not going to make any money.
No, they're not.
That's half the reason why people went. Margot Robbie in booty shorts. That's pretty much it. Not that I'm complaining. Margot Robbie looks good. She could fill out a pair of booty shorts.
She does.
And she made a decent Harley.
Um,
She made a decent Harley. She just didn't have any kind of supporting cast.
I don't know.
She would have been a better Harley with a better Joker to play off of.
And if they were consistent with the Brooklyn accent.
Well, as we have discussed, Harley doesn't have to have a Brooklyn accent. We
have discussed this, and you're absolutely right. No, she does not. But whatever accent you're going for, you need to stick with it.
You do need to stick with it. Exactly.
At one point, she's talking about her pudding, and then she's saying how she can be quite vexing. No. It's vexing or vexen. Take your pick.
No, Jared is not a pedophile rapist name. It just happens to be the name of a pedophile / rapist who represented Subway.
Eh?
Yeah. Jeffrey is not a horrible name, but there was Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, you can't just say Jared's a bad name because of one person.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure there have been some pretty evil Robs and Bobs in the past.
And and conversely, there are many wonderful people who are named Hitler, I'm sure. But then one person had to mess it all up.
Many wonderful people may be named Adolf.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, think of all the Hitlers that came before. What kind of people were they, I wonder? But then here comes their great-great-grandson, Adolf, to screw up the family name for all time. What did you do, little Adolf? Why did you have to do that? Now we can't go into polite society in heaven anymore.
Almost ready. Sorry, I'm trying to get caught up.
It's okay. But yeah, Will Smith's not in Suicide Squad anymore. Can't say I blame him.
Yeah, really.
Why would you even make a sequel to that? Like, guys, you do realize that the DC extended universe bombed, right? That's why you had to do a whole... Pardon the vacuuming here.
Are you serious?
Yep. Do you not hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's just while they're doing the upstairs?
It'll be over in a minute.
Yeah, I would say.
Very small hallway.
There's a question in the chat.
What's that?
Bob.
Yes?
What is it like to work with your human counterpart?
It's not as comfortable as you might think. It feels like I got a hand stuck in my ass.
That wasn't the question. Come on, play along.
Hey, I'm playing along. What do you want? Well, I don't really know how to answer that question. Most of the time, it's me. It's like, I don't know. What's it like working with you? Uh-oh.
One, I'm not a crow. I'm a raven. Two, it's not bestiality because I'm a person.
Yes.
And that's kind of rude.
Yes, as far as Raven and I are concerned, just regarded as like an interracial thing going on, it's fine.
This is not the place to ask for reviews, guys.
Yeah, sorry. No.
I'm not going to see them. I'm not going to mention them.
But yeah, what's it like working with Bob? He's kind of an egomaniac.
Raven's a vegetarian, so we're never going to find out if it's cannibalism.
What?
Is it cannibalism if a raven eats a crow? This raven, anyway, is vegetarian.
And no? A raven eating a raven.
Corvid. And in the wild, they're both corvids, but they're not the same species.
No.
They're the same genus.
It'd be like a person eating a chimp. It'd be weird. It'd be...
And disgusting.
Yeah, but...
And immoral, but...
Cannibalism? No.
Not quite. Okay, so no more asking about reviews, and I think we're ready to get started.
And no more asking about cannibalism because we're not into vor around here.
Nor bestiality.
Oh, man.
What, aw, man?
Wolf Bob said that, not me.
Yeah, but if Wolf Bob does another critter, that's not bestiality. Because he's a beast.
Hello, Dog Show. You.
Anyway, this stream G-rated, guys.
Chicken
I got
wow.
coffee on my list. I have a cappuccino.
Nice. Okay, what's the first voice then? For Little Red Riding Hood.
One moment. 7 Beatles of Doom. You should finish your nursing degree and keep pro wrestling as a hobby. I don't know why I give that advice, but that's what I say. Okay. All right. First voice will be Linkara.
Oh, jeez.
And keep Wolf of Bob at the ready for any wolfy donkey voices that you get to do.
Yeah. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of the country, there lived 3 generations of women. Granny Fran, Mama Felice, and her daughter Philippa. I don't know. For years, the family lived in a cozy village beside a great wood. The villagers coexisted peacefully with the animals in the woods, rabbits and deers and foxes and squirrels, a variety of birds, and a pack of stunning gray wolves. Hey, that's me. As the top predators, the wolves helped keep all the other animals healthy and strong and in the forest vibrant and green. No. As top predators, the wolves helped the other animals stay eaten and tasty. Next.
I'm getting them out of the way early.
Yes.
Oh, for God's green.
Yeah.
Eat you all.
I love you.
Band.
Throughout the years, the village grew bigger and bigger, eating into the woods. The balance between people and animals shifted. As the wolves had fewer places to live and fewer things to eat, they started to steal food and farm animals from humans. One day, when Mama Felice was a child, she came face to face with a pair of wolves while on an errand. They barred her path and twitched their pointy ears. You okay, baby? Next.
G1 Starscream.
My, what big ears you have, she whispered. The wolf stepped toward her. Step, step, step.
Did he awkwardly bow out of the conversation?
Awkwardly bowing out. My, what... Sorry, still doing Guffey here. My, what big eyes you have, she said as she leaned back. The wolves bared their teeth and sniffed the air. Just imagine I'm baring my teeth here.
You don't have teeth, Wolfabon.
Shut up!
Hey, we love you anyway.
Oh. My, what big teeth you have, she gasped. Luckily for her, a hunting party was nearby. They caught a glimpse of her red headband and scooped her up to safety. Her red headband. Okay. Next voice.
Mickey Mouse.
From that day forth, the family told this tale and cautioned other families in the village against sending children into the woods alone. Granny Fan fashioned a bright red hooded cape for her daughter, Felice, to wear on outings so adults in the area could watch out for her. Don't want to have a bright hunter orange? So, when Felice had a daughter, Philippa, she was quick to remind her of the wolves. She cautioned her to avoid the woods and to always wear her bright red cape when she was out walking. This is how she got her name, Little Red. But not her mother, somehow. As years passed, the village grew larger still, and the forest grew smaller and more dangerous. Instead of traveling through the feared woods, the villagers built new homes around it. Granny Fans, sad to see the woods disappear and the village overtake them, moved one winter to a more remote cottage. Next.
Gotham's Joker. Since I didn't get an answer, I chose Gotham's Joker. Jerome.
While Granny Fran was busy unpacking in her new home, Mama Felice asked her daughter, Philippa, dear, can you please bring Granny a few items? Of course, Mom, Philippa said, always glad to help. I'll just finish feeding the birds. Philippa often cared for the wildlife, especially in the colder months, because she's socially aware, you see. I put together a basket with a crusty baguette, a bottle of milk, a stick of butter, and a log of cured meats. Mama Felice explained, hanging the basket on Philippa's arm. If you leave soon, you can get there before dark, as it's a long way around the woods. Next.
Very good. Hans Mole Man? I don't know who that is.
It's a really, really old man character from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Or, no, sorry, he's not really, really old. He's just had a really, really bad drinking life. My name is Hans. Drinking beer has ruined my life. I'm 31 years old.
Oh, Lordy. Terrible.
But if I cut through the trees, it's a quicker trip, suggested Philippa. Mama Felice regarded her daughter sternly. We never used the path through the woods. You remember what happened to me, right? Nothing. I know, Mother, the wolves, Philippa obliged. Never get close enough to see what pointy ears they have, what big eyes they have, or what sharp teeth they have, she recited.
No Harry Potter characters, guys. He's really not. I mean, I got one down, but he's really not into Harry Potter. I'm the one that showed him the movies, and that was pretty recently.
I could do Potter Puppet Pals.
That's true. He's very adept at Puppet Pals. So.
Who was the suggestion?
Hagrid.
Hagrid.
Shall I keep it? There's not time for it, but shall I keep it?
I could do Hagrid.
Okay.
The best way to avoid wolves is to go around and stay on the path, Mama Felice said. This is Potter Puppet Pals, Hagrid.
Oh. Time for it, but okay.
But this ain't the time for it.
Just go ahead and finish now. That sounds terrible.
Sounds like he's got bowel problems.
Really?
Oh, and don't forget the red cape, she called after Philippa as she stepped through the door.
Good Lord.
I'm just gonna take a little nap.
Next.
The next is Herbert the Pervert.
Philippa grabbed the heirloom red cape from the coat stand, slung it around her shoulders, and stepped out into the wintry trail. She looked like a hollyberry in the snow. As Philippa walked along, a stiff wind blew the snowflakes at a swirling white screen, making it difficult to see. As she neared the place where the road forked, one way leading around the woods and the other leading straight through it, Philippa could barely figure out which way to go. She sniffed the air and groped in the blinding snow. I think this is the way, she remarked as she chose a trail that went through the woods.
Next.
Jasper from The Simpsons.
As she walked, pine needles crunched beneath her feet. Animals scurried around, and the wind died down, revealing to Philippa that she was in the woods. That's paddling. Oh, shoot. Well, at least this will be quicker, she said to herself. Just then, a strange feeling befell Philippa. She lowered the hood on her cape so she could listen more closely to her surroundings, and what she heard gave her pause. Something else was breathing heavily nearby. She heard weighty footfalls, and eerily, she heard small animals scurry away from where she stood. Next.
Are you into pony voices?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, no ponies. Believe it or not, he's not a brony.
I know,
It's
right?
hard to believe. No one believes us.
No one believes me.
There's so many other things that he is, but that's not one of them.
The super duper party pony. That pony is me.
Are you ready?
I only know that because of Weird Al. Shut up.
Yeah, sure. That's why you know all of the names of them and
That's the Puppet Show talking.
Yeah.
I learned their names just through cultural osmosis. Leave me alone.
I don't know. I can't explain it either. Homestar Runner.
Oh, jeez. She narrowed her eyes and peered into the woods around her, starting on her left. As Philippa turned her head to the right, she saw a pair of pointy ears in the trees. Philippa's breath caught in her chest. She stepped toward the ears, and two glowing eyes revealed themselves between the bare tree branches. She knew from her care of other woodland animals not to stare the animal down and not to run. Instead, very slowly, Philippa reached into her grocery basket and withdrew a bottle of milk. Holding it like a spear, she thrust it at what she now knew to be a wolf.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So don't stare an animal down, don't run away from it, and throw milk at it. Okay. Next.
Christopher Walken.
A second wolf emerged beside it, and so again to her basket Philippa went, this time for the cold stick of butter. She threw it at the feet of the snarling wolves, who regarded it curiously. Wow. Philippa then took the baguette, raised it above her head like a sword, and took the opportunity to slowly inch back from the wolves. She walked backward all the way to the fork in the trail, holding her breath. So don't stare an animal down, don't run away, but do throw milk and butter at it and hold bread over your head while walking backwards.
And hope it gets hungry?
No, don't hope it gets hungry, or else it's going to go for the bread and take you down.
Oh, well, maybe the milk and butter, I don't know.
I don't know.
Good grief. Ready for the next one?
Yes, next one.
Larry Flint?
Larry Flint.
Yeah, I don't know who
Pass.
that is. Robin Williams' Genie.
Once she was safely out of the wolf's range, Philippa remembered her granny. As fast as she could, she secured her hood, ditched the basket, and ran with the cured meats with one hand and the baguette in the other, all the way down round the woods to Granny Fran's new house. Next.
Foghorn Leghorn.
She arrived panting and sweating just as the moon was arising. And to her surprise, the door to Granny's new cottage was ajar. Granny, are you home? Felipe knocked lightly on the door and it swung open. Inside, she was greeted with an unfathomable sight. Two wolves, their faces dappled with milk and their paws greasy with butter, slipped in and slid in the door. Philippa's grandmother was perched atop an armoire, brandishing a fireplace iron. So let's see if I got this straight. She meets two wolves in the woods, gives them milk and butter, walks slowly away from them backwards, and then finds the wolves in her grandma's house. How did the wolves get there? Why would the wolves get there? Are we just going to gloss over the fact that these wolves are supposed to talk to Little Red Riding Hood to ask her about her grandmother?
I believe we are, yes.
Isn't the whole point of Little Red Riding Hood supposed to be don't talk to strangers? Are we supposed to fear actual wolves? Are we supposed to think of them as the bloodthirsty monsters that they've been portrayed as all throughout human history?
I certainly hope not.
That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Next voice.
Mo from The Simpsons.
A lot of Simpsons here. Felipe brought the baguette and cured meats above her head like two swords. The wolf sniffed the air and turned, noses first, to confront her. "Lure them outside!" shouted Granny Fran. "What?" wavered Philippa. "The food, my dear." Her grandmother nodded to the baguette and cured meat. Philippa looked from the wolves to her hands, where she held tightly to her food swords. A flash of recognition crossed her face, and she flung the food behind her into the yard. The wolves darted on either side of Felipe to reach the food, and as they did, they kicked up the air around her, sending her cape spinning. In the yard, the wolves pounced like puppies on the bread and the meat. Devouring the food eagerly, they paid no attention to Felipe or her grandmother. Next.
Hermie the elf.
The poor dear, Granny Fran interrupted Felipe's observation of the wolves. Philippa quickly bolted the door and helped her grandmother down from the armoire. Shall I call for some help, Granny? I'd say the one who need help are those wolves. They are very hungry, and they really shouldn't have a taste for human food. Human food's delicious.
It's actually terrible for wild animals, though.
I'm sure it's terrible for them, but they're gonna go for it. It's not a question of whether or not they have a taste for it. Is it there? Next.
The next one is Willie from The Simpsons.
Oh God. You're right. They are hungry, Philippa murmured, watching the animals again from the window. What about all the rabbits and deer they usually eat? Have they eaten them all? No, my child, said Granny Fran. But there haven't been enough deer or rabbits for a long time. Not since the village took over all the land. Those other animals have a few places to live, and so the wolves have less to eat. How awful, reflected Philippa, sitting next to her grandmother. What can we do to bring back the rabbits and deer? Next.
Beavis and Butthead. Because no one loves me.
Why don't you write to the Fairyland Environmental Bureau, FEB? I don't know.
Oh my God.
They'll appreciate a plucky young voice like yours and help us keep the wolves and the village safe and stuff. So his great fan built a fire. Fire! And Felipe drafted a letter, and I guess she outlined her family's history with the wolves and her own encounter with the turn of events at her grandmother's house. That's cool. Hey, Wolfie. A lot of bone.
They're all terrible.
So rather than keep this a story about the dangers of talking with strangers, it's more it's instead about animal conservation. Okay. Again, that's important, but that's not what this story is. Next voice.
They want Wolfabob to do Peanut's voice, as if he was doing the bit where Peanut tries to bite Jeff.
Tries to bite Jeff?
You remember when Jeff blocks him? Yeah.
Holy crap, you're quick. It's like you know.
Read, Wolfabob, read.
She fetched Granny Fran's quickest carrier pigeons, Lars? I don't know. And sent her request into the air. The two eagerly awaited a response, and the next day they got it in the form of a visit from the FEB Wolf Response Team. They just have that, I guess. Together, Granny Fran and Philippa helped the team examine animal tracks, collect crumbs, and look for signs of the wolves. All the wolves in the forest would be tracked and relocated, the team explained, because they were no longer safe around humans.
Oh, no.
Next.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Razorblade.
Hello, Razorblade. Nice to see you.
He wants you to do me.
Ugh.
No, I mean my voice. I want you to do me. But
Oh, y'all want me to do you.
August, baby. August.
It's sad that there won't be any wolves in our forest anymore. How can we make this area better so they can come back? Philippa asked as the team packed up. What an excellent question, the team leader said. You can help grow the forest by planting trees.
Thank you, Captain Planet. That will bring the animals and plants back to the area, and then we can bring the wolves back safely. We have a junior ranger program if you're interested. We're not. Philippa grinned. I'd really like that. I'd hate to have to move because there wasn't enough to eat. The animals shouldn't have to move either. Next.
Oh, sorry. I was talking Rachel Blake. Boris Karloff.
The FEB Wolf Response Team departed, but not before giving Philippa a series of books and maps, a special tracker's guide, and a beacon for exploring the woods safely. If you study hard, you'll be a junior ranger in no time. The team called back as they loped silently on snowshoes into the woods. In the months that followed, Philippa stayed with her granny Fran and diligently studied her junior ranger materials.
Pardon?
And Raven's phone is a gummy bear. She tracked prints, followed her nose, memorized the multitude of ecosystems that coexisted in her area, and educated others in the village about the cause of the wolves. She finished her studies in record time and was sworn in that summer as the youngest junior ranger in the FEB. Philippa volunteered each weekend with the FEB and, of course, had her sights set on the Wolf Response Team. Hooray. Final voice for this one?
Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura.
Alrighty then. Just a few years later, she led that very team and was once again reunited with the wolves. She worked to relocate the wolves, who grew too close to humans, and even cared for a cub that had been injured. From that day forward, Philippa dedicated her life to forestry conservation, with a special consideration for the wolves. Later, while raising a daughter of her own, Philippa campaigned for the rights of wolves in the wild, and after the wolves returned to her home region, she successfully appealed to make the hunting of wolves in Fairyland illegal. Years later, when she herself was called Granny Philippa, she was honored by the Fairyland Environmental Bureau with the title of Faithful Friend of the Forest. However, most people just refer to her as Princess of the Wolves. Ugh.
Can you tell how much he likes those princess empowerment stories?
Princess empowerment is fine. Just keep the story to what it's supposed to be. Little Red Riding Hood is supposed to make you be aware of what dangers that unknown people can present to you. Of course, that's an awkward balance where you want to, on the one hand, trust people, so you want to make friends, but on the other hand, you don't want to fall into the wrong crowd. That's what the story is supposed to be about. If you're not wary about strangers, you might get eaten. But you take that...
Right. And this is the lesson for you, princesses. Stay in your lane. Wear your gloves and corsets. Don't invent machinery. Get with the prince no matter how boring or unsuitable he is. You know, stick with your story.
Yes, because that's what I said.
That's exactly. I heard that. Anybody else heard that? We all heard that.
Sure. And why make the wolves not talk? Come on, that's one of the fun parts about that story.
Talking wolves?
I know, right?
Dumb.
Okay, so we're moving on to 5-minute Avengers stories, and it's going to be Calling All Avengers. What page are you? Calling All Avengers, page 109. All right, and what is our first voice for this one?
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Only the voice actor that did Donald Duck can do Donald Duck.
Yes, I can't do Donald. I'm sorry.
Calling all Avengers. There came a day when Earth's mightiest heroes needed help. That day, there were two threats at the same time. The Avengers were busy fighting the Wrecker and his wrecking crew, a superpowered group that loved destruction. Sometimes they just wanted to knock down buildings. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Meanwhile, Hydra, an evil group determined to rule the world, was setting its newest plan into motion. But with the Avengers busy battling the wrecking crew, who was going to stop Hydra? Who was going to stop Hydra when Captain America was actually Hydra the whole time?
God, that was stupid. What are you doing, Marvel? Next.
And for a complete change of pace, Cookie Monster.
Oh, Captain America suggested calling in the new recruits. Iron Man said, they're not ready yet. Captain America thought Iron Man was wrong, but he knew the original Avengers thought less of the new Avengers just because they were new to the team. We should give them a shot, Cap said. Meet the newest members of the Avengers. Falcon, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and the super spy, Black Widow. And Cookie.
And Cookie.
Next.
Can you do Balto? Wolf of Bob?
No, pass.
All right, Michael Jackson.
Falcon had been Captain America's partner for a long time. He was really Sam Wilson, a shield agent with a super cool flat suit that came complete with wings. He was one of the few people with the skills and strength to use the flat suit, and when he did, bad guys beware. Falcon could swoop down from the sky and stop crime. Falcon flew so fast he could get anywhere in the city in just a few minutes. No, that's ignorant. He fought Hydra many times in Captain America, so he was a great Avenger to have on a mission against the group. Always a friendly face, and Falcon was often the first team member to offer a helping hand. When Captain America called about Hydra, Falcon asked only, when do we get started?
Shimon!
Oh,
Next.
goodness. Voldemort. You can do the puppet pals.
Yes, I was going to say, what does he sound like in a Potter Puppet Pals? Among the new recruits was Vision. He was an android, which is a funny way of saying he was a robot that looked human. That's funny. Robots don't need the same things humans need. As a robot, Vision didn't have to eat or sleep, but he did have to power up. He had many special abilities. He could control his density. That meant he could walk through walls or become as hard as diamond. He could also shoot beams from his eyes and fly, and he was super strong. But what made him an Avenger was his heroic spirit. He was one robot with heart. Vision was the next to receive Captain America's call about Hydra. Incoming call from Captain America. Time to get the other Avengers, said Vision, ready to jump into action. Next.
Beast Wars Waspinator.
At the Avengers Tower, Falcon and Vision went to get Scarlet Witch. They found her floating in a ball of her own mystical energies. Whoa, what are you doing? Falcon asked her. There are more threats to the world than the ones you can punch, Falcon, Scarlet Witch said. Scarlet Witch fighting those threats right now. Falcon didn't understand what exactly Scarlet Witch's powers were, but she knew that she could make the impossible happen. She thought she might prove to be the most powerful Avenger of all. And since his friends were Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor, that was really saying something. It appears we're needed, Scarlet Witch said. Let's get my brother.
Next.
Beaker.
All right. There. Next.
Gumby's dad?
Okay. Okay, do a Quicksilver for real this time.
Just as Scarlet Witch mentioned her brother, the communicator came to life with his voice. I'm on my way, Quicksilver shouted through the speaker. Quicksilver was the fastest man on the planet. He was able to run at super speed. Just then, he was outrunning a super fast train on his way to meet his fellow Avengers. Quicksilver also knew how talented and powerful he was. Of all the Avengers, he was the one who most enjoyed being a celebrity.
Next voice.
Skeletor.
Captain America's call also came through the training room where Hawkeye was practicing with his bow and arrows. Hawkeye had such good eyesight that he could see his targets from far away and then hit them. Good, because seeing your targets from far away and not hitting them is kind of pointless. His bow had many different kinds of arrows, one that caught fire, one that cooled things off, one with nets, and many more. While Hawkeye had no powers, he had proven that he was able to keep up with his super-powered friends just fine.
Next.
Jazz.
Completing her training session with Hawkeye, Black Widow was jumping through a maze of laser beams. She was a very skilled gymnast. Looks like Cap needs our help, Hawkeye. Black Widow finished her flips through the maze and landed, ready for combat. Black Widow asked Hawkeye, do you think they're ready to accept us as Avengers? Or do you think they'll still think of us as the new members? Hawkeye knew that Black Widow felt like she wasn't really part of the team. And sometimes he felt that way too. It just takes time, Widow, Hawkeye said, hoping it would cheer her up a little. As they joined the others, she set her Widow's Bite gauntlets on stun. Those wrist zappers really did pack a wallop. Okay. Next.
Next is Wallace Shawn.
Inconceivable.
That's exactly what they said when they suggested it. Wallace Shawn, inconceivable.
You keep on saying that voice. I don't think that voice is who you think it means.
As soon as the Avengers saw Hydra's goons, Black Widow yelled out to them, "Surrender now, Hydra! This is your one and only warning!"
So intimidating.
That ought to do it. Thanks a lot, Ray.
The Hydra agent in charge laughed at them and said, "You're not even the real Avengers! There's no way we'd surrender to you!" But just because they were newer to the team, that didn't mean they weren't as good as the original Avengers.
Experience counts. It kind of does.
They made sure Hydra wouldn't have the chance to underestimate them again.
Next.
Elvis Presley.
After wrapping up the Hydra agents, the new Avengers went to help the rest of the Avengers with the Wrecking Crew. As it turned out, the original Avengers needed some extra power. Scarlet Witch called out a spell that saved Captain America, Thor, and the Hulk. The other new Avengers took down the villains. Iron Man couldn't believe that he'd been wrong about his new teammates.
Next.
Ned Flanders.
With only the Wrecker left standing, Captain America and Quicksilver were able to take care of him together. "There'll be no more destruction today, Wreckerino," Captain America said. "Or ever again," Quicksilver added. Pow, pow, the fists of the two mighty heroes were more than enough to knock out the Wrecker. While saving the city from both Hydra and the Wrecking Crew, the Avengers found that when they worked together, they could beat any foe. There came a day when the original Avengers fought side by side with the new Avengers, and on that day on, it no longer mattered who was an original Avengerino and who was a new recruit. From then on, they were all simply Avengers. Uckly dokley.
Oh my god.
And that's it for that story. Oops, sorry, as I bumped the camera there with the book. We move on to 5-minute Batman stories with, what was it? Reptile Revenge.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got some Killer Croc action in there. Let's see. Revenge. Which page are you on? You are on 115. There we go.
And then I threw a rock at him. It was a big rock.
All right, what's the starting voice for this one?
Krusty the Clown.
Late one night, Batman and Robin, the dynamic duo, were working inside the Batcave. Suddenly, a breaking news story appeared on the high-tech Bat computer. The reporter said that a famous doctor had been kidnapped. The doctor's whereabouts are unknown, the reporter said. The police have reported signs of a struggle at his office. Oh no. Next voice.
Can you do animated series Killer Croc?
Serious Killer Croc?
Animated series.
Animated series Killer Croc. Batman and Robin hopped into the Batmobile and drove across the city. Within moments, they arrived at the doctor's office. The Gotham City police were already there, surveying the scene. Batman and Robin helped them investigate. The room had been slashed. Jagged claw marks covered the walls and the floors. The evidence pointed to one criminal. Killer Croc, the Cape Crusader told the police. Really? You are the world's greatest detective. Seriously, look at this place. Who else could it possibly be? Next voice.
Bender?
Pass.
Harry from Home Alone?
Pass.
Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy? No, ew.
I agree. Apu.
How did he become a thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Batman reviewed the security tape from the doctor's office with Police Commissioner Gordon. Where is the antidote? Croc yelled at the doctor. I don't have it here, the doctor told him. It's at Gotham General Hospital. The tape cut out. Commissioner Gordon turned to his officers. Let's get to Gotham General and make sure it's clear, he said. But Batman had a plan of his own. Thank you. Come again. Next.
Next is PC Principal.
PC. Batman perched outside of Gotham General Hospital after the police swept through the building. All right. As night fell over Gotham City, a dark figure snuck inside. This is too easy, Croc said as he stole bottles of the antidote. But when he turned to leave, he found himself face to face with Batman. Hey, Croc, do you have an appointment? Batman asked. Do you have an appointment, Croc? Sit down! Batman, Croc growled. Get out of my way. Next.
Chief Wiggum?
Nah. Batman approached the raging reptile. I can help you, the hero said. Just come with me. The only person who can help me is me, Croc said. He charged the Dark Knight. Croc was strong, but Batman was fast. The Dark Knight moved out of the way, and Croc crashed through the window. Croc landed safely on the street below. He looked back up at Batman and smiled. Then he disappeared into the sewers.
Next.
Annoying Orange.
Pass.
G1 Ironhide.
When Commissioner Gordon heard what happened, he was furious. You let him get away, shouted Gordon. No, I didn't, replied Batman calmly. The Cape Crusader held up a small screen showing a flashing red dot. It'll take us right to the doctor, the superhero said. Batman had placed a tracking device on Croc's scaly skin when the criminal rushed by him to make his escape. How convenient. How will you follow him in the sewers? Asked the commissioner. I can help with that, said Robin, who stood in the doorway. He held two high-tech scuba suits and masks. You need scuba suits to go through the sewer? Ugh.
Next.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah. Batman and Robin prepared to go after Croc. Once they were suited up, they swam through the sewers, following the red dot on the tracking device.
Finally, the Dats stopped moving. They had found Croc's hideout. The dynamic duo saw the missing doctor tied up inside. "I'll untie the doc," Robin said. "You stop Croc." Croc was mixing the antidote he had stolen so he could cure himself of his crocodile traits. Yeah, I don't know if there's really a cure for what you've got, Croc. "It ends now," Batman said, surprising the villain. Croc rolled around. "Batman," Croc growled. "You're just in time for my dinner. My pets are very hungry." Batman turned to see two crocodiles climbing up out of the sewer water. Because, Crocs love swimming in sewer water. Next.
Bubba J.
The crocodiles were on top of Batman in an instant, and Killer Croc made his getaway. The superhero struggled against their chomping jaws and razor-sharp teeth, but he couldn't hold them for long. Batman reached for the reptile repellent in his utility belt and sprayed the beast. It's just like the movie where he sprays the shark in the eye with the bat shark repellent. Their jaws relaxed and they quickly fell asleep. Must have been drunk.
Next.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
After defeating the crocodiles, Batman caught up to the supervillain. "You can't beat me, Batman," Croc said when he saw that the hero was advancing on him again. "I'm here to help you," Batman said. "There are good doctors in prison." "No one's ever helped me before. Why would they start now?" Croc yelled. He lunged at Batman. Next.
Scrooge McDuck.
The pair wrestled on the ground. Using his martial arts skills, Batman fought to keep himself out of the Croc's jaws. He kicked and punched the hulking beast, but Croc was too strong to keep down. Robin saw that Batman was in trouble. He quickly grabbed the antidote Croc had stolen. "You want this, lizard lips?" Robin shouted at the supervillain. "Come and get it." He tossed the medication into the rushing flow of the sewer water. "No!" Croc screamed. He dived after the bottles. Next.
Freakazoid.
Pass.
Strong Bad.
Batman and Robin dived into the sewer water after Croc. They caught him just before he reached the bottles. The dynamic duo grabbed the hulking beast and held his arms. Croc twisted and twirled beneath the water, spinning the heroes like a washing machine. He was still too strong. Bad. See what I did there? Yes! Okay, sorry. Quickly realizing that they couldn't beat Croc with strength alone, Batman signaled to Robin that they needed to split up. Next.
Will Smith.
Killer Croc took off after Robin. He thought the Boy Wonder would be an easier catch. Then he could defeat Batman on his own. But the Boy Wonder had a plan. He swam into a narrow pipe. Croc followed, but he was too big. He growled and gnashed his teeth, but he couldn't catch Robin now. Robin climbed out the other side, but the beast was stuck. And the final voice for this really short story.
Ichabod the Optimistic Canine.
Oh, jeez. I forget what I did for him.
I think it was one of your...
I was going to say, I know they're super happy. Something like this, probably.
I think so.
Something like this. Not time, I suppose. The police arrived and freed Croc from the sewer. Good work, Boy Wonder, Batman said. That was one tight spot. Then they took Croc away to where he could get the medical help he really needed. That sympathized them. He's going to get the help he needs.
Ew, that was weird. And our final stories, coming from the melancholy death of Oyster Boy, are Mummy Boy and Staring Girl. Start things off with Staring Girl, the shorter of the two stories here. What voice do we have for this one?
Quick Strike from Beast Wars.
I once knew a girl who would just stand there and stare at anyone or anything. She seemed not to care. She'd stare at the ground. She'd stare at the sky. She'd stare at you for hours, and you'd never know why. One last voice for this one, because again, really short.
It is really short. Pink Panther.
Pass.
Sylvester Stallone.
But after winning the local staring contest, she finally gave her eyes a well-deserved rest.
And by giving her eyes a well-deserved rest, this is what they mean. It's just bizarre. All right, moving on to Mummy Boy. Let's see, where are we? Near the end of the book here. There it is. All right, who are we starting off with? Mummy Boy.
Statler and Waldorf.
He wasn't soft and pink with a fat little tummy. No, he was hard and hollow, a little boy mummy. Tell us, please, doctor, the reason or cause why our bundle of joy is just a bundle of gauze. My diagnosis, he said, for better or for worse, is that your son is the result of an old pharaoh's curse.
Next.
Miss Piggy.
That night they talked of their son's odd condition. They called him a reject from an archaeological expedition. They thought of some complex scientific explanation, but assumed it was a simple supernatural reincarnation. With the other young tots, he only played twice, an ancient game of virgin sacrifice. But the kids ran away, saying, "You aren't very nice."
Next.
Wolverine from the animated series.
Alone and rejected, Mummy Boy wept. He went to the cabinet where the snack food was kept. He wiped his wet sockets with his mummified sleeves and sat down to a bowl of sugar-frosted tana leaves, bub.
Roger Rabbit.
One dark gloomy day, from out of the fog, appeared a little white mummy dog. For his newfound pet, he did many things, like build a doghouse a la Pyramid of Kings. Hey, Eddie! Next.
Han Solo.
It was late in the day, just before dark. Mummy Boy took his dog for a walk in the park. The park was empty, except for a squirrel and a birthday party for a Mexican girl. The boys and girls had all started to play, but noticed a thing that looked like paper mache.
Captain Kirk.
I was going to say a final voice for this one. Look, it's a piñata, said one of the boys. Let's crack it wide open and get the candy and toys. They took a baseball bat and whacked open his head. Mummy Boy fell to the ground. He finally was dead. Inside of his head were no candy or prizes, just a few stray beetles of various sizes. Isn't that pleasant?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And that's it for that. Yay.
What do we have left?
Yep.
Around the bonus stories?
I was gonna say we're done with all of the specifically talked about books.
Well, I had an idea that I haven't discussed with you.
Oh, what's that?
Yes, I mentioned last night on the stream that we were thinking about doing something to help get some more contributions to the GoFundMe for us to get together in August and have lots of fun. And one of the things was me reading some funny bedtime stories for adults. So I was wondering if maybe anyone, as one of the bonus, of course, Rob will do a bonus for you guys as well in his various voices, because that's what you tuned in for. But would anyone like to hear me read Go the Fuck to Sleep?
Do you have it?
I do.
Ooh.
I found a PDF of it, so that's cheating, but
Whatever, it's fine.
we'll try to have the actual books in hand if we do the live stream.
Yes. So how does this work?
I would, you just sit there and look pretty while I read it, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, how do we get the contributions for it?
Well, for this is just a sample, just to see
Ah,
if
well.
anybody's interested in hearing me do more of them.
What's chat saying?
One person, Moonbeam says yes. I don't do impressions, guys. If I do, this is just going to be as me.
No, you do some impressions.
Not really.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
There was a voice I didn't do, which you thanked me for not doing last night, which you know you can't do yourself.
No. I could also do a poem. I found some nice poems that I could read.
Yeah.
I could do a couple of my various voices on those, just to give you an idea of what I can do. It's not much, I assure you. Well, in my erotic audio business, I have sometimes I get commissions and I do other stories for my website and for my public stories, which have two different voices. So rather than just change my voice in post, I have a couple of voices that I can play with to make it sound like I'm not talking to myself.
And my lady has this terrible habit of underplaying herself. Her other voices are so good that her audience often doesn't know that it's the same person talking.
Ah, well.
It's true. You've had them say that to your face. You know that.
How about I read "Go the Fuck to Sleep" in my voice, and then I'll do one of the poems in one of my other voices.
Are we worried about YouTube not monetizing this or anything, or are we just going full out into it?
We're just going full out.
Okay.
And if you guys like this, then you can contribute and we'll find a way that you can get contributions for me to read some of the other stories by this author and other authors.
And it's not just this book. There are plenty of books like it to choose from.
Oh yeah. Several of them have been written by Adam Mansbach, Mansbach.
Who's that?
Which is the one that wrote the guy that wrote "Go the Fuck to Sleep."
Gotcha.
Okay, so here we go. I shall start with that. The cats nestle close to their kittens. The lambs have laid down with the sheep. You're cozy and warm in your bed, my dear. Please, go the fuck to sleep. I have kids. I feel this. I remember. The windows are dark in the town, child. The whales huddle down in the deep. I'll read you one very last book if you swear you'll go the fuck to sleep. The eagles who soar through the sky are at rest, like the creatures who crawl, run, and creep. I know you're not thirsty. That's bullshit. Stop lying. Lie the fuck down, my darling, and sleep. The wind whispers soft through the grass, hun. The field mice, they make not a peep. It's been 38 minutes already. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Go to sleep. All the nursery kids are in dreamland. The froggy has made his last leap. Hell no, you can't go to the bathroom. You know where you can go? The fuck to sleep. The owls fly forth from the treetops. Through the air they soar, they sweep. A hot crimson rage fills my heart, love. Come on, shut the fuck up and sleep. The cubs and the lions are snoring, wrapped in a big snuggly heap. How come you can do all this other great shit, but you can't lie the fuck down and sleep? The seeds slumber beneath the earth now, and the crops that the farmers will reap. No more questions. This interview's over. I've got 2 words for you, kid. Fucking sleep. The tiger reclines in the simmering jungle. Sparrow has silenced her cheep. Fuck your stuffed bear. I'm not getting you shit. Close your eyes. Cut the crap. Sleep. The flowers doze low in the meadows, and high on the mountains so steep. My life is a failure. I'm a terrible parent. stop fucking with me, please, and sleep. The giant pangolins of Madagascar are snoozing as I lie here and openly weep. Sure, fine, whatever, I'll bring you some milk. Who the fuck cares? You're not going to sleep. The room is all I can remember. The furniture, crappy and cheap. You win. You escape. You run down the hall as I nod the fuck off and sleep. Weary and dazed, I awaken to find your eyes shut. So I keep my fingers crossed tight as I tiptoe away and pray that you're fucking asleep. The end. There's one more. I'm sorry, I missed it because I'm having to zoom back and forth.
Oh.
We're finally watching our movie. Popcorn's in the microwave. Oh shit. God damn it. You've got to be kidding. Come on. Go the fuck back to sleep. The end.
Yay.
That poem that I thought was so pretty.
Oh, that was terrible.
Not that one.
It's a wonderful idea, baby.
Oh,
But yes,
thank
if
you.
if
I have a beautiful voice. Someone said I had a beautiful voice.
yes, you definitely do. Although on the topic of beautiful voices, if it's not you who's reading the story, it can only be Samuel L. Jackson. Go.
And this is a love poem that I'm going to do in one of my other voices.
Ooh.
It's called Proximity by Michael Faudet, F-A-U-D-E-T.
F-A-U-D-T. Yeah, that's probably Faudet.
Faudet. Sounds French.
Maybe. Oh.
Gotta get sippy sippy.
And you know what they say about French people, right?
What's that?
Something I can't say here.
Exactly. We joined the dots from A to B. The line we drew from you to me. Traced empty shores across the sea, over mountaintop, past forestry. Along the roads and walking tracks, all bridges burned, no looking back. For the love we have, no gate can stop, no barking dog or bolted lock. For what is real is meant to be when two hearts beat in proximity.
Oh.
Okay, now that was just a little sample of what you might encounter in a story time with Raven to benefit the GoFundMe.
And I have to ask, baby, I'm sorry. We know not to call you the C word. Can we call that voice the C word?
It sounds like you're trying to say a bad word.
Yes, it is. It is a bad word.
Oh, did I sound like the girl from the Haunted Mansion right? I've only heard it once, so I'm not sure.
Looking back, yeah, you do kind of sound like Constance, the ghostly bride, with that voice. I can hear that. Yeah. But I was saying, that's the cute voice.
No, it's not. Such a face.
That's the C word when we're talking about my lady.
I'd rather he call me the other C word than that and cute.
Yeah, but you're never that. So I can't call you that.
I can be.
You can be, but you aren't.
I could be.
You could be, but you aren't.
Call me cute and we'll find out.
Touche.
Okay, we have a question for Wolfabob.
I'll go fetch him.
We need to find out what bonus story Bobshow's going to read.
Sorry, what?
We need to find out what bonus story Bobshow is going to read. That's what they tuned in for. They tuned in for the cute voices.
So what do you ask me for? I don't know. Shall we delve back into the...
Come on. The
What?
question is, ask Human Bob, where is his other hand?
Where's your other hand? It's right here. Oh, okay. That wasn't a hard question.
So, what do you think, guys? Think you want some Edgar Allan Poe or
Let's
one
see.
of the Pixar story?
I was gonna say we've still got.
What did we do? We did Disney and Poe yesterday for bonus stories.
No, actually, the bonus stories were just Poe yesterday.
No, you read something else.
I started reading.
No, you did. They chose two. They chose Disney. No, Star Wars.
Star Wars. That's right.
Okay,
We
so
did a
let's
little
do
bit of
Disney.
Star Wars yesterday.
Let's do one Disney and one Pixar.
One Disney and one Pixar. Let's see. Seeing as how we've got the Lion King coming up, how about we open up with that?
Okay. Don't sound so disgruntled. It looks like it's gonna be good.
It looks like they sucked all the life out of it.
My God. You learned nothing.
I know.
Nothing on live action remake month.
No, I did. I know that I gotta keep an open mind as I'm looking at these movies. I'm just saying this is my initial reaction. It looks like they just sucked the life out of the Lion King.
They did not suck the life out of the Lion King.
I don't know. That's
Just
just
give it a chance.
that's just what it looks like. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'll probably be wrong because so far Jon Favreau has not let me down yet. But just gotta see, okay? I'm giving it that. Okay, so we are starting with The Lion King, A Prince's Day. Starting with what voice?
I'm looking through these suggestions, picking out some. Here we go. Princess Aurora from Maleficent.
Ugh.
That'll teach you.
You're my very godmother.
Read.
It's a good thing these hardcovers are very soft. They knew that I was coming. It was early morning at Pride Rock. Simba and Nala couldn't wait to go out and play. Let's go down to the river, Nala said loudly. Shush, Simba whispered. We have to be quiet or Zazu will hear us. But it was too late. Zazu had been on the lookout for the young prince. Ah, there you are, Simba, Zazu said, landing in front of Simba. Come along, we have a busy day of training ahead of us. Is Zazu your fairy godmother? Next.
Maui.
Pass.
Oh, you can do Dwayne Johnson.
No, I can't.
Okay. Snow White.
But Nala and I were about to go down to the river, Simba complained. Nonsense, Zazu said. As a prince, you have certain responsibilities, young sire, and we can't keep them waiting.
Excuse me. Barking dogs.
He is a Gemini, Moonbeam.
Have I said I hate him?
Yes, you said you hate them.
Resuming with Snow White here.
Yes.
Bye, Simba, Nala said. Have fun at Prince School. Maybe we can go to the river tomorrow. Not if Zazu has anything to say about it, Simba grumbled, watching as Nala bounced away.
Oh, poor sad Simba. Look at him. He's so sad.
Oh.
Next.
You'll need Wolfabab for this.
Aha.
One of you do Woody and the other one do Buzz.
Oh, God. How many split personalities am I going to walk away from with this?
What can I say? They love Wolfabab.
Zazu led Simba down to the watering hole, where the animals of the Pride Lands were taking turns drinking water. Part of a ruler's responsibilities is solving disputes between his subjects. A perfect example is in the watering hole. Each animal needs to have a turn to drink, Zazu explained. See that herd of antelopes? They have been here too long. It's the rhino's turn. You there, the bird said, yelling to the antelopes. We didn't think this through very well, did we? It's on the fly. What do you want from me? Next.
Next is Wolfabob doing Shrek.
Just as I took him off.
I'm sorry, I tried to get to you quick enough.
Here we go. Wolfabob as Shrek. Simba listened for what it felt like hours as Zazu talked on and on to the antelopes. Finally, the lion cub saw a chance to escape. A herd of giraffes was leaving the watering hole. If he could sneak out with them, he might still have time to play with Nala. Next.
Might as well get it over with.
What?
Everyone will be disappointed if you don't.
Yes. What was that?
Haley Harmon.
Just when Simba thought he'd gotten away, Zazu landed in front of him. Where do you think you're going? Zazu demanded. Come on, Zazu. We've been at the watering hole for hours. Can't I go play with Nala? Simba asked. But Zazu refused to let him go. The prince's job is never done, he insisted. Onward to our next step! Ah!
Oh, you like celibacy.
Do you?
Huh?
Do you like celibacy, my lady?
No, I don't. Not a
Sally?
fan. What were we doing? Where were we?
I was seducing you with my Captain Jack Sparrow voice.
Oh yes, you were, weren't you? Okay. I can't read.
As her brain melts. You're welcome.
Okay. Get me back to reality here. Let's have some Tommy Wiseau.
Zazu led Simba back to Pride Rock, where Mufasa was listening to his subjects' concerns. Oh, hi, subjects. How's your sex lives? A king must listen to all the other animals, Zazu explained. You can learn a lot from your father. You're tearing me apart, Zazu!
Someone said Hakuna Matata is the secret word, but we don't need to do it.
Hey, what's that word that means no worries? Hakuna Matata. Ah!
All right. We need Wolfabob.
Got him.
You do Cool Cat and let Wolfabob do Daddy Derek.
Oh my god. Simba tried to pay attention. He listened as Mufasa advised the elephants to find new grazing grounds. He listened to the zebras worried about the upcoming rainy season. But soon the lion cub was just as bored as he had been at the watering hole. He started to fall asleep. Young sire! Zazu yelled, angrily pecking Simba awake. Were you paying any attention at all? Simba yawned, shaking himself awake. He looked around. The other animals were gone. Mufasa must have finished for the day. I heard some of it, Simba replied. Frustrated, Zazu flew up into the air. Come along, Simba. We aren't finished yet, Zazu said. Yay! I love you, Daddy Derek. I love you too, Cool Cat. Ooh, bad touch, but I love it. Exquisite. And the entire chat room is horrified beyond rational thought.
Let's Let's have some 2017 live action Beast.
Ugh.
Hey,
So many better voices to use.
makes this computer stab you.
Slowly, Simba followed as the bird led him away from Pride Rock. Soon they were walking past the river where Simba and Nala had planned to play that day. Simba looked for his friend, but he didn't see her. Suddenly, Simba heard a yell. "Did you hear that, Zazu?" he asked. "Hear what, Simba?" There was another yell. "That," Simba said, running toward the river. Zazu flew after him. So many better things to read.
I'm sorry. Glinda the Good Witch.
It was Nala. She had fallen into the fast-moving river and couldn't get out. Hurry, go get my father, Simba ordered Zazu. The bird flew away in search of Mufasa, but Simba knew there wasn't a time to wait. Nala needed him now.
Oh, she needs him now, huh?
Take me now.
I need you now.
Next.
Bobby Wobbly.
Ugh. I'm sorry, baby.
I know. Well, you know what you have to follow up with.
I don't, but okay, we'll get to that.
Leslie.
Hmm?
You have to wash the Bobby Wobbly out of my brain with some Leslie.
With some Wesley, right. Sorry. Simba looked everywhere for a way to get to his best friend. Finally, he saw a long tree branch on the shore of the river.
Oh,
Nala, grab on, Simba yelled. He grabbed the tree branch in his mouth and moved it to the river. Nala reached out and grabbed the branch just in time. Simba pulled the branch back and dragged Nala out of the river. She was safe. "Do you like bubbles?" he asked her.
Wesley, quick! Quit laughing and do Wesley.
Simba? Mufasa called, running to the river. "Here, Dad," Simba said, panting. "It's okay, I got Nala." Relieved, Mufasa and Zazu gathered the cubs and started back to Pride Rock. "Zazu, Nala, can you give me a moment with Simba?" Mufasa asked. Simba was worried. Was Mufasa angry at him for not paying attention to Zazu? "Zazu told me about your day. I know that you want to play with your friend, but Zazu was trying to teach you important lessons about what it means to be king," Mufasa said. Next, please.
Keep doing that one.
Swoon.
That is the role he was meant to play.
He kind of did.
Yes.
In Delhi Salami.
Oh, shut up.
Didn't he?
Oh, Nikki has an interesting idea.
What's that?
What about doing a voice of your own creation?
Oh, Lord.
The first one that popped in my mind would be a preview of something upcoming that might whet their appetites, or it might be giving away too much, you'd say. The upcoming thing that you're working on, your project. The new segment being added to your show.
Oh.
Or would that be revealing too much?
I think we can give it a go. Because it's not going to be entirely obvious as to what it's going to be.
No, it's not.
No.
And we won't answer any questions about it now.
No.
What did you learn at the watering hole? Mufasa asked. That the rhinos followed the antelopes, Simba replied. Mufasa laughed. No, you have to be fair as a ruler and make sure all your subjects are treated equally, he said. And Zazu brought you to Pride Rock to show you that a leader must be wise as well. But the last lesson you taught yourself. I did, Simba said.
Final voice for this?
You want to take a picture of it? Let me do mine?
Oh, good idea. Where'd my phone go? There it is. Doom, 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 doom.
Yes, remember the voice that he just did at this one, you'll hear them again.
Yes, you will. But we won't give you any kind of context.
Nope. No clues.
And sending that to my lady.
The whole thing, or I don't remember where you ended.
The whole thing, yes.
Whole thing.
I ended on the previous page.
Yes, my son. You rescued Nala and showed him a ruler must be brave. I'm very proud of you, Simba. Simba smiled up at his father. Now, Mufasa said, I think there may be just enough time for you and Nala to play before dinner. Simba smiled and bounded off to find Nala. He'll make a good king someday, sire, Zazu said, landing on Mufasa's shoulder. Mufasa smiled. Yes, he will.
Some ravens have a southern accent, and those are hot. Raven is a severe hottie.
No, we're not doing an impression of Disney characters. You're just going to have to stay tuned
No,
for an upcoming project.
those are completely original characters. And you are going to love them, I assure you.
I just took my kneecap off, crossing my legs under my desk.
Uh-oh. Sorry, baby.
Pick another story.
Let's see. Final story is coming from 5-minute Pixar stories.
I've been rendered lame.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
My kneecap is under the desk somewhere.
We'll find it.
All right, let's have some Jim Carrey's Grinch.
And let's start that off on Toy Story, A New Mission.
Oh, there you go, since there's a new Toy Story out.
Yes. Still got to see that, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Page 63.
Andy was leaving for college, and his toys were heading to the attic. But Sarge and his green army men had a different plan. They climbed up to the windowsill. "Hey, Sarge, where are you going?" asked Buzz. "War's over," Sarge replied. "We're moving on." Sarge explained that their tour of duty in Andy's room was complete. It was time he and his other troops took up a new mission.
Next.
Dorothy Gale.
Pass.
Okay. You did such a good Glenda. Let's see. That was really good. All right. Forrest Gump.
With one final salute, Sarge and his men jumped off the windowsill. They opened their parachutes and flew across the city. Operation New Home was a go. The 3 army men landed near a toy store. It would be the perfect place to find a child. Before long, the soldier spotted a boy and his mother walking toward them. "This child is military material," Sarge whispered. "On your marks, gentlemen, go, go, go." He and his men jumped into the mother's shopping bag. I don't know what that means. This boy is military material. Next voice.
Frosty from the Rankin Bass cartoons.
But the soldiers weren't taken home for playtime. The mother made a stop at a bakery. As the boy reached for a giant cookie, he knocked one of the shopping bags over. The army men tumbled to the floor. When the boy left, the baker spotted the toys. He picked them up and took them into the kitchen, delighted at what he thought were new cake decorations that he found on the floor. Next voice.
Elmo.
After giving them a good wash, the baker placed the green army men on a birthday cake. Then he put the cake in the refrigerator. "Looks like we're in for a long, cold night," Sarge said with a sigh.
Soon as morning came, the soldiers were placed in a box and carried out the door. They were on the move again.
And wow, this is weird. This is a Toy Story story. And in it, we have references to The Incredibles, Cars, and Finding Nemo all in one single image.
Oh no, it's the Pixar theory.
No! Okay, Pixar theory, what the hell does all this mean? Make sense of it, I dare you.
I'm sure John Negroni can find a way to make it sound pseudo-real. And everybody will back him up.
Ugh. And
Whatever he happens to pull right out of his ass.
And I'm sorry, but what does this cake with Mater say? I mean, I know what it says, but what does it look like it says?
Dadgum?
Except it sometimes doesn't exactly look like a G.
Oh my god.
It's not a cupcake either.
Put that down. Put that down.
Next voice.
Let's have Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, why not? The voice that started it all.
When the lid of the cake box was finally lifted, Sarge and his men discovered that they were in the middle of a birthday party. "Green Army men! Cool!" exclaimed the birthday boy. He plucked the soldiers off the cake and set them aside. "This could be it, men," whispered Sarge. "This boy could lead us to our new home." The soldiers nodded in agreement. Their mission was back on track.
Next.
How's your Josh Gad's LaFoon?
Pass.
Okay, I tried. But by the way, I thought Josh Gad was amazing as LaFoon.
Ugh.
You shut your face. Do Olaf, the snowman.
That's the same thing.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to get you.
Rip-de-doo. I could do that. The rip-de-doo.
You could do what?
The rip-de-doo.
All right, do that.
I will do this because of rip-de-doo. The soldiers watched as the boy enjoyed his party, but then somehow they lost sight of him. The Sarge scanned the room. Target is heading for the exit. Let's move, rip-de-doo. The army men followed the boy out the front door, but they were too late. He was gone. Oh no! But a rip-de-doo.
Next voice.
Schloofy.
Sloofy.
Before the Green Army men could retreat, the pizza delivery truck screeched to stop near them. The driver honked his horn. A waiter came out of the restaurant carrying a stack of pizza boxes. "It's about time," he grumbled in his driver. "Take these to the Wilderness Explorer picnic."
Wilderness Explorer picnic? What the crap?
There are
Lord, I forgot to make you put on the hat.
Put on the hat.
Wear the right hat for Schloofy.
Excuse me, I'll be right back. Schloofy hat. Let's see.
You're wearing the shirt, you're wearing the hat.
I am wearing the shirt, aren't I? Okay, trying not to disturb my setup here. Got the hat on. Okay, perfect. Wearing the hat.
Pull off the shirt.
Yes, I
And
am.
it's crooked. Your hat's facing towards your closet a little bit.
Better?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Had to wait for the lag to catch up.
Yes. Many birthdays ago, my lady had to get me a whole bunch of rainbow poo stuff because that's who I am.
That's right. He is my rainbow shit. That's his pony name.
Why is that my pony name?
I don't know, because I want to see the cutie mark on your ass.
And the Stoofy Poo hat.
Scooby-Doo. Now you may continue on with your sleeping.
Yes. Take these to the Wilderness Explorer picnic. There are Wilderness Explorers in the Toy Story universe too. What the hell's going on?
There are a lot of hungry kids waiting for lunch. Sarge looked at his man and smiled. This is Shoofy smiling. Then they climbed onto the truck.
And let's see. We see the waiter here handing out a whole bunch of pizzas to the pizza guy without an oven bag. Those pizzas are going to be cold by the time that they get there. Next voice.
Well, while we're on Schloofy,
let's
have an Oogie Love.
Oh, Lord.
Your choice. They all sound the same anyway.
That's racist. I guess I could do a Toofy.
Goofy Toofy, pick up your pants.
Yes, exactly. The truck weaved in and out of traffic. Suddenly, it hit a bump, causing one of the cadets' parachutes to open. This sounds a lot like Cool Cat, don't it? Sarge grabbed onto the soldier, and he began to lift off the roof of the van. The other soldier held on to Sarge. The wind was so strong, they couldn't hold on much longer. Go on without me, the cadet called out. But Sarge knew better. A good soldier never leaves the man behind, because we're just repeating dialogue from the first movie at this point. All three soldiers flew off the truck and landed on the side of the road. As night fell, the soldiers made a tent out of newspaper. The cadets went to bed, but Sarge stayed awake, wondering when and where they would find their new home. Wow, this is just like Vietnam, huh, fellas? Whoopee! Next voice.
The milkshake guy.
The milkshake. God.
I can't remember his name.
Milky Marvin.
Milky Marvin.
Ugh. Such an appetizing name. The next morning, the unit awoke to a loud rumble. Oh! The makeshift shelter was lifted into the air and then tossed into a trash can, with Sarge still inside. Sarge looked down to see his soldiers safe in the bushes below. Then he was thrown into the back of a garbage truck. The trash man hopped aboard his truck and he drove off. Oh! And just for the sake of more continuity here, look, there's Trash Man Sid.
Oh my goodness.
Still wearing that skull t-shirt.
Of course.
Next voice.
How many more voices do we have?
I was just going to say, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left.
4 left. Here's one you haven't done in a while. Popeye.
Yeah, Sarge struggled to keep his head above the garbage. Yeah, just as he was about to sink beneath the plastic bags, he looked up and saw his cadets. They had come to his rescue. Oh, here's my cadets. They come to the rescue. Yeah, working together, the other soldiers lowered themselves into the garbage truck. Sarge reached out and grabbed the hand of one of the cadets. Never leave a man behind, sir, the soldier said. Yeah. Next.
How about the doctor from Mule Mom?
The doctor from Mule Mom. Oh, boy.
The troop jumped off the truck and landed in an alley. Sarge looked at his tired soldiers and sighed. Maybe leaving Andy's house wasn't such a good idea after all. At that moment, the men heard laughter coming from the other side of the wall. They climbed up and peered over. Sarge gasped. Below them was a beautiful playground. Could this be their new home? They parachuted over for a closer look. Next.
Rothbart.
Rothbart, oh God. A group of toys greeted the soldiers with open arms. Welcome to Sunnyside Daycare.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because that's what you want Jack Palance saying. Ken and Bobby gave the troop a tour of the playground and classrooms. Everything was new and improved now that their old boss, Lotso, wasn't there anymore. Sarge pulled his men aside and explained that Sunnyside felt like the home they were looking for. The cadets agreed. You are my number one guy. Final voice for this final story.
The final voice shall be. I just had a good idea, now it's gone.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Oh my goodness. I had the perfect voice to end it with. You did Rothbard. That's what made me think of it.
Do I need to read that last passage again to strike your memory?
No. I'll just come up with something else.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Nikki.
What's that?
They said anyone, but I'm going to be specific. Pingo.
Ugh.
That was a good one.
Hate you.
Pingo.
The next morning, the Sarge proudly watched his men experience a full day of play at Sunnyside. The soldiers were finally home. Mission accomplished! And we're done.
He is so done.
Ugh. Friggin' Pingo, why?
Oh no, he took off the hat.
I took off the hat. There's no more Sloopy Poo.
No more Snoopy Poo.
Oh no. There was a birthday party in that story and Sloopy didn't get to go.
Ain't that the way it goes for poor Sloopy?
Oh, poor Sloopy. We need to make an Oogie Love spinoff just to give Sloopy his own damn adventure.
Oh my goodness. You'll have to put that on the list.
Yes, yes. So, did we have a good time, everybody?
Yay!
Woo!
I'm pretty sure everybody had a good time.
Oh, yes.
This is the final live stream of the catch-up live streams, I believe.
Yes, we will not be having another stream until the end of July. So, be sure to look in.
In-dish. I think July is going to be kind of busy for us.
Yes, it will be. It will be.
Preparing for a little trip.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, guys, if you're wanting to hear more Mad Libs and more story time with Raven and anything else you can think of that would encourage you to, slip a little contribution to our GoFundMe, let us know, because we're just trying to get up to our goal, maybe a little bit past it.
Yes. Yes.
And like we said, if we go, I forgot what we said the stretch goal was, but if we make our stretch goal, we're gonna have those T-shirts made. Should be a lot of fun.
I think you said $4,700. I think.
No.
No?
Our goal is 46. I think it was 1,000 over goal.
Yes, that actually sounds more familiar. Right. I'm getting mixed up here. So yeah.
There's still plenty of time to contribute. You can also contribute during August while I'm there in California.
Yes. And don't forget the power of sharing, as cliched and Sesame Street as that sounds. Because, of course, we're seeing donations from longtime fans of ours, even patrons. But a lot of these names we haven't seen before.
Right.
So,
new people that we're just meeting.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, new people. You are so awesome.
So if you want to mention the fact that you've got a little glimpse of Storytime with Raven, that you're interested in seeing some more Mad Lib stuff, you share, ask your friends to share, ask your friends to contribute, you contribute, every little bit helps.
Just spread this as far as you can.
Yes, because it's worked so far. Let's keep it going.
It has worked immeasurably. It's like, oh my God, really? People want us to get together this badly.
And we are so grateful. And
we really are.
So excited to finally be in the same room again for a whole month. Oh my God, I can't believe it's going to happen.
Yes. It's only happened one other time so far, and it was over far too quick.
16 days that just flew by.
Mm-hmm. But a month all, just you and me, baby.
Woo! You guys think he's going to get sick of me?
Nope, not going to happen. I'm gonna get sick of myself first.
No.
Just put it that way.
But thank you guys for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you all for your suggestions and for your chatting with us.
Yes, this was good. I'll try to be on time for the next one.
Yes,
barring
you will be.
more unforeseen circumstances.
And maybe I'll choose a more realistic time for you to show up.
This wasn't unrealistic. It was just
I suppose
just
so.
stuff come up. It happens.
Yes,
Okay. Well, you guys have a great day.
indeed.
And
Have a
we'll
lovely
see you
one.
Next time.
I'll see you guys in about a month. Later.